Well, good afternoon. So the juice is loose. I guess that's a common headline now, but I was reading some articles yesterday and came across O.J. Simpson's stock market impact. And while yesterday, of course, the verdict that came out, he's been paroled and stuff, but back in the 90s, I think we all remember how much it captivated America. I was in 7th grade when I hate to date myself like that, but I was in school when the verdict was announced back in the 90s, and we were in the cafeteria, and they made the announcement over the whole school PA that he had been found not guilty. But on top of that, I was reading this article on Business Insider, and excuse my phone because I can't remember all these facts, but it talks about what happened when the verdict was released, and some interesting ones to note. Long distance phone calls, y'all remember that? Long distance calls? They dropped by 58% during that time. Trading volume on the New York Stock Exchange. So think of trading volume. I've said this before. The stock market is just a big auction. There's buyers and there's sellers, and the volume is the amount of shares exchanging hands. That dropped 41% on the New York Stock Exchange. That's unprecedented. And the president left the Oval Office to watch the verdict with his staff. I mean, think about that. This is a guy on trial for murder. And by all accounts, I mean, how many murder trials do we have in the United States every year? I don't know, but I'm sure it's a whole lot. And the president stopped doing the most important job in the world, stopped doing what he was doing to watch the verdict. I don't know exactly why O.J. Simpson has captured the interest of America the way he has. Wish him, well, I can't say that, I don't wish him the best, but certainly in the future, hopefully he just stays out of jail and stays out of the spotlight. And we can also thank him for the Kardashians, but which is, I'll let you draw your own conclusion. In other note, this has been a really busy week. We've had some great meetings this week, and more the topic of Medicare just keeps popping up. And I don't know how you transition from O.J. Simpson to Medicare, but I just did it. Medicare is complex and confusing, so I'm going to spend the next several weeks just kind of breaking it down. And I talked last week about if you have a job with employer coverage and you turn 65, you should go ahead and sign up for Part B. And that is 99% of the case true. There is a small percent out there where the employer will allow you to keep your coverage and it goes supplemental for B. So you don't need Part B, you just need Part A. But you got to ask your employer about that because that's not very normal. That's a little bit abnormal. But I wanted to find real quick what is Part A and Part B this week. Part A is hospital, it's basically hospital coverage. It does not cover your doctor's visits. It does not cover skilled nursing facilities or anything. It's just hospital visits. Yes, it's free to you, kind of. Remember, you paid taxes to get it. But Part A covers 80% of hospital visits in general. Part B, which is elective. You don't have to have Part B. Part B covers doctor's visits. There's some other ancillary benefits like for acute skilled care. But again, it's just 80%. And both A and B have a deductible attached to them. So if you go to the hospital and you spend $10,000, only 80% of that's covered under Part A. If you go to the doctor or get an MRI outpatient and it costs $2,000, only 80% of that is covered with Part B. You pay for Part B. Premiums start at about $120 a month. They go up based upon your income. I think for the folks in the highest level, they cost about $380 per month to have Medicare Part B. And Part B, you get penalized for every month that you don't sign up for it when you should have, starting at age 65 if you want it. So you don't have to have it. There's nothing going to force you to use but you're going to be, I don't know how you could go without insurance, to be honest with you. But Part B is elective. If you don't sign up for it and you want, let's say you're 65, you don't sign up for it, you're 75, 10 years down the road, and you all of a sudden think, you know what, I should have signed up for Part B, you're going to get penalized very heavily for that 10 years that you weren't in Part B. So I don't know anybody that shouldn't sign up for it when they need to. That's when their employer coverage is not available for doctor's visits. More to come on Medicare. Can't cover it in this video every week, but that's kind of what I'm going to focus on, because I think 50% of meetings nowadays I have with people, we're talking Medicare. So clearly it's a question. Hope you have a great week. See you next week.